Someone please tell me that this isn't true. This photo with this little girl is in the Epstein files, and people are convinced that this is 6-year-old John Bennett Ramsay. For those who may not know, this was and still is one of the biggest unsolved cases. As skeptical as I am about this portrait, which a lot of people believe is John Bennett, there's another photo that's been circulating the internet of John Bennett at a beauty pageant, which is something she normally did, and look who it is behind her. You cannot tell me that doesn't look like Ghislaine Maxwell. And I know you're probably thinking, well, this could be anyone that looks like Ghislaine. This is the thing. Allegedly, many people have said that Ghislaine was seen at a lot of beauty pageants during this time. She would go and hang out with moms and build relationships with them. And as you probably know, Ghislaine's currently in prison serving a sentence for sex trafficking minors and other crimes related to children. And also, my mind goes immediately to these videos that were found in the Epstein files of these little girls who look about the same age as John Bennett. Listen, I'm just speculating here, okay? Apparently the girl in the portrait with Jeffrey is someone else. Could be, I don't know. But also, if you know anything about this case, John Bennett's parents did some questionable things where a lot of the evidence pointed back to them for potentially covering up their daughter's murder. Also, her autopsy showed signs of Issei, so I'm thinking maybe there's more to this case that we don't know.
This might be the most outrageous story of the year so far. A hospital in France had to be evacuated on Saturday after a World War I artillery bombshell was found lodged in a man's anus. And not only was this shell a whole 8 inches long and over 1 inch thick, which the 24-year-old apparently inserted in himself, with the media suspecting it was part of a party trick, but also the bomb was still live, meaning it had the potential to blow at any moment. Brother belongs in the files for this one. To make it even more wild, this ammunition was used by the German Imperial Army in World War I, and after surgeons successfully removed it in an emergency operation, a security perimeter had to be formed around the hospital and all patients and staff were evacuated. Even the bomb squad had to be called to defuse the shell, along with the fire brigade on standby. This unidentified man now faces charges of handling, if you could call it that, Category A munitions, which in France can carry a sentence of up to 10 years in prison.
Crime scene photos of famous people. John F. Kennedy. Michael Jackson. XXX. Selena Quintanilla. Tupac. John Lennon.
Disturbing facts the media never taught you. On the day of Ted Bundy's electrocution, people waited outside partying to celebrate his death. Even funny enough, the locals inside of the area all came to an agreement the night before to all turn off their power. This was done in hopes that Ted Bundy would feel more of a shock. If you ever wanted to pull off a friend's ear, it only takes about 8 pounds of pressure. That is the equivalent to just squishing a can. Most of these beautiful windows that you're seeing right now are all made out of urine. If you're a big fan of koalas, I'd probably stay away from them. Koala pee contains chlamydia, so I'd probably stay away from it if I was you. Make sure to like and follow for more videos tomorrow.
A huge batch of never-seen-before Epstein files were released last night, which include the likes of Michael Jackson, Chris Tucker, Bill Clinton, again, Mick Jagger, and many more. But here's the 3 main key takeaways. Firstly, the pictures. Bill Clinton definitely got the worst of this one, with shots of him everywhere, including looking far too comfortable in a hot tub and a swimming pool. We got not Prince Andrew lying across the laps of several redacted women, Chris Tucker, which, let's be honest, no one wanted to see him here, Michael Jackson with Bill Clinton Epstein and Diana Ross, but yet again, from the pictures, nothing groundbreaking, it's not showing anything illegal, and there are huge redactions. The second key takeaway is that this release actually failed to follow the law requiring the release of all the files. In fact, for example, every single one of the 119 grand jury testimony pages were redacted. We're talking entire pages here. However, in saying that, the Department of Justice have said that they will release more documents in the coming weeks. And the third and potentially biggest key takeaway from this is that we got confirmation last night that the FBI was warned about Epstein as far back as 1996. You see, one of the victims, Maria Farmer, submitted a complaint to law enforcement that Epstein stole pictures of her underage sisters and then sold them to potential buyers. In fact, one part of her handwritten complaint says that Epstein at one time requested, redacted name, to take pictures of young girls at swimming pools. Quote, Epstein is now threatening, redacted name, that if she tells anyone about the photos, he will burn her house down. So the FBI was tipped off about Epstein 23 years before he was finally brought to justice. And even saying justice is generous because he died before he was ever tried in court. But there is still a lot more to comb through and still to come, so we'll keep you guys updated as we know more.
Things that attract ghosts.
Pretty people, because they are drawn to the vibrant energy and aura that often surrounds them. Strong perfumes, strong or distinctive odors like incense or perfumes, might attract ghosts. Abandoned places, because they often retain the residual energy of past events and emotions. Of candles or fires.
This guy set up a camera in his grandma's room, and what he saw the next day totally freaked him out. He wanted to make sure she was okay, so he placed the camera to watch her during the night. In the recording, you can see him putting her to bed and gently fixing her blanket. But the moment he walked out, creepy things started happening. His grandma, who was peacefully sleeping just a second ago, suddenly stood up and started acting like something had taken over her. She walked around the room, whispered strange words, and then stared right into the camera. Every time her grandson walked back into the room, everything stopped. She was lying in bed again, like nothing ever happened. But as soon as he left, the creepy stuff started all over again. The next evening, he checked the footage again. This time, the camera caught something even weirder. In the corner of the room, where there was nothing before, a dark figure appeared. It looked like it was watching his grandma, and whenever she got up, the figure faded back into the shadows.
I think it's really time for the country to get onto something else, really. You know, now that nothing came out about me, other than it was a conspiracy against me, literally, by Epstein and other people. Yeah, what do you want?
On the Epstein files, you talked about Democrats who were in there. Elon Musk was also in there, and so was your Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick and correspondence that he had with him. Did you read those new files that were published by the Department of Justice?
I didn't. I have a lot of things I'm doing, you know, a lot of things I'm doing. I don't know. You mentioned two names. I'm sure they're fine. I'm sure they're fine. Otherwise, it would have been major headlines.
A lot of women who are survivors of Epstein's are unhappy with those redactions that came out. Some of them, entire witness interviews are totally blacked out. Do you think that they should be more transparent?
The fact that they thought they released too much. You know, I heard that.
You are the only person alive on Earth right now. It's called the egg theory. And what I'm about to tell you will blow your mind. So the theory goes that you are actually the only person alive right now. The only consciousness that actually exists. Everyone else is just a figment of your imagination. Your family, friends, strangers you meet on the street, all because your mind doesn't want to feel alone. But this is the scary part about this theory. Since you are the only true consciousness, you'll live every possible life there is and ever will be. So you'll be reincarnated and reborn billions and billions of times until you lived every single individual's life. And then you'll be able to hatch this egg and become a god. That's the theory. You see, the theory goes that the entire universe was created as an egg for the main character, which is you. And once you have lived every human life ever, you will be born as a god. The reason God created the universe was for the main character to understand this point. Every time you victimize someone, you are victimizing yourself. So be kind to people and you're being kind to yourself. And no lie, it sounds horrible, but you wouldn't know if you lived billions of lives already. You probably already lived over 1 billion and you just don't remember it. You probably lived your mom's life, your cousin, the stranger across the street to the blind man you walk past sitting on a bench today. So in actuality, you're me and I'm you. You're the person in the hospital right now with an unknown disease, or the lady at the store right now buying apples. So every single person you know and ever will know was you.
Do not watch this if you're easily scared. About 700 years ago, a castle was built in Czech. But this castle wasn't your normal castle. This castle had fake windows, no kitchen, no bedrooms, and no one ever lived there. Well, later on, people found out that this castle was built over a large hole, and some people call this the portal to hell. So they found out the villagers who were sentenced to death could actually be pardoned if they went down this hole. But right when he got down there, he started screaming. When he got pulled back up, the villagers said he aged 30 years, and that the things he saw down there were so disturbing that he killed himself 2 days later. Now in the modern era, people who go there say they could hear scratching coming from inside the walls and a chorus coming from beneath in the hole. But that hole is now covered up to keep whatever that is inside contained.
A woman has gone viral online for filming herself cleaning abandoned graves. At first, it looks like nothing unusual, but the way she does it has terrified thousands of people around the world. She doesn't just pick up trash and polish headstones to a shrine. She spends hours in cemeteries, sometimes even staying there at night. Many viewers quickly pointed out that cemeteries are places with heavy energy, and spending that much time there can't be harmless. At first, everything looked relatively normal. She washed the gravestones, swept the paths, and leveled the soil. Then she began bringing flowers to the graves of complete strangers, like she was taking care of people no one else remembered. But when children's graves started appearing in the videos, the tone shifted. She would take dolls and stuffed animals home with her. She'd carefully wash and clean them until they looked perfect. Then she'd return them to the cemetery, placing them back like nothing had ever happened. And then the creepiest moment started. In one video, she was cleaning a grave late at night when the flowers suddenly fell out of a pot on their own, without anyone touching them. In another clip, a shovel stuck in the ground unexpectedly moved, as if something unseen had brushed against it. After that, subscribers began begging her to stop. People said the videos genuinely made them feel uneasy. And one of her clips was so disturbing that many claim it's better not to watch it at all. So what do you think? Just coincidence, or the kind of place that notices when you stay too long? Follow so you don't lose the channel, if you're not afraid to get scared at night.
So if you're in the United States in the Northeast area, you may have heard of this, but apparently there's these stories about legendary beings that live in the forests of Michigan, Connecticut, and Ohio. Basically, it's about these creatures that look remotely human, but they have these bulbous, melon-shaped heads. To summarize the legend of the melon head creatures, the story goes that when an asylum for the criminally insane burned down, a bunch of patients escaped into the woods. And in order to survive out on their own, they resorted to cannibalism to survive. Also, it's said they have these large melon heads as a result of inbreeding through generations, which have caused a medical condition called hydrocephalus, which is fluid buildup in the head. Some people still claim you really need to watch out for them in some parts of Connecticut and Ohio. Crazy story. If you want to hear more stories like this, I just did a longer video on the melon heads right here. Go check it out right there.
Mati ya. Ni apa ni? Babi ya? Otak kau tergiling bodoh.
Go away. Don't come any closer. Past this idiot.
2026 just got even crazier, part 6. So, Russia came out and said that they are considering a ban on Grand Theft Auto 6 over concerns about immoral content, and they claim that it's a dangerous tool of influence. They also said that it could be banned if the content isn't removed. Imagine waiting this long for GTA 6. And your country literally just bans GTA 6 before it comes out. Next, speaking of GTA 6, the company who makes the game, Rockstar Games, just had an explosion at their headquarters, leading to a fire to shut down their headquarters. Now, thankfully, no injuries were reported, but saying this, I have a good feeling the game is going to get delayed again. Imagine if they actually just lost GTA 6 in this fire, and none of us ever get GTA 6. And finally, a report has been going viral because experts claim that millennials are starting to look younger than Gen Z. And they claim Gen Z is aging faster because of constant screen time, stress, and poor sleep. So yeah, there's a reason why us and Gen Z get called unks.
Jesus! You can't be popping up on me like that. You do that too much.
So there's this.
No way.
Hey, Dad, look at Carly. Get up here, Carly. Get up here, Carly.
Let me just tighten that up there. All right, we're good.
I should be out and about. Look at my keys, bro. What the fuck is that?
This Florida woman convinced a 10-year-old on Roblox to drop their 2-month-old sibling on a tile floor. And the kid actually did it, and the infant suffered severe injuries because of that. He literally tried to get a 10-year-old to kill their 2-month-old sibling. Like I said, this all happened on Roblox, of all places. She didn't stop there. Before she told him to drop it on the tiles, she said, oh, you could just drown the infant too. She went over various killing methods, which is just insane to me. And you're like 30-something years old playing with a 10-year-old kid on Roblox? What are you doing? It's also allegedly claimed that she also told the kid how to kill the adults by instructing him to slit their throats and then burn the house down. However, Roblox is denying the claims that that conversation specifically ever happened. And if you did some digging on this couple, there's articles about it. Apparently a 20-year-old man impregnated this woman's 14-year-old daughter. And the husband and her was just like, okay, you know, let's have him move in. He groomed her. What are you guys doing? I'm just so confused with their entire dynamic. The whole Roblox situation, trying to kill a baby online, not pressing charges on a 20-year-old that was interacting with your 14-year-old daughter. She is currently being held with no bail in a correctional facility in Pensacola. We're gonna see what happens. A plea deal, so we'll see what happens from there. Let me know your thoughts, guys.
Creepiest things scientists have ever found on Google Earth. Scientists have found something scary on Google Images.
Well, during the initial investigation, the agent who was studying the swarm noticed something out in the water.
Okay, kind of a speck.
Yeah, well, at this resolution, it's a speck. When they zoomed in, though, they got this.
It's a little fuzzy, but I'd say that's a shark.
And not just any shark. If you look at this other satellite photo I brought, it was taken at the same resolution of a school bus yard in nearby Sao Paulo. Now, those are 40-foot buses, and when you compare them next to the first photo, I'd say that's a 70-foot shark.
All right, let's ask the obvious first question here. Do you really think that this is the same animal that was spotted 2 months earlier on the other side of the ocean at Cape Verde?
Look, that's a 3,000-mile trip, and you know, it sounds like a lot, but great whites have been tracked going 1,500 miles in a month. So for Megalodon, that would be nothing. Also, sharks are known to revisit old haunts. Great whites, for instance, have been tagged leaving the east coast of the U.S., going on a random winding trip through the North Atlantic, and then returning a year later, almost to the day, to the same spot that they were tagged. So similar behavior from Megalodon makes complete sense.
If, indeed, this is Megalodon.
So this is one of the most disturbing things I've ever read in my life, and it raises the question, was Jeffrey Epstein impregnating young children in order to force them to have kids that would then be brought into the world of sex trafficking and pedophile rings from a newborn, or I should say from the age of newborn, or whatever you'd say. So these are screenshots from a journal of one of Epstein's victims, and the girl talks a lot in coded language. As you can see here, this is kind of how she wrote, and she writes in these journals, but it's a pretty easy code to decipher. I deciphered a bunch of these pages. But the really disturbing thing throughout these journals is that she talks about multiple perpetrators. She names perpetrators, like the executives at AOL, Leon Black, a good friend of Epstein's. There are many more too. But this girl constantly talks about death, about murder, about her babies being taken away from her, about her being forced into these traumatic procedures that were extremely gruesome and bloody. There are also pictures of what I can assume are potentially her babies, her sonograms. And yeah, I mean, you can pause and read all of these pages. There are so many of them. I just spent the last hour reading through these journals for a video that I'm producing on my channel. And I was on the verge of tears throughout most of it. I mean, it's really, this is horrific stuff. Some of the pages she has drawn to and splattered with ink like this, or like this with some of her code. Here are some of the pages translated though. Tomorrow is the halfway ultrasound for Jeffrey. This one stuck. After they took the first baby who survived in the early miscarriage, I think it was called, I no longer feel like a person but a vessel. Will they take this one too? Who has the first one? Where did Ghislaine go? I can't let myself get attached. My body feels so tired. Will I ever be free? So then in another page of coded writing, she writes, I am such a monster. I didn't console her. I can't unhear her screams. They haunt me. I couldn't even bring myself to look at her. I am a monster. I deserve to be haunted by her screams. I am so sorry. I am so broken. Another page here, she describes the doctor who was from Israel, and she describes the procedure. This was different, a shot, and those rod-like things had a hook and so much pain. Blood and water all over the bed, and she was wrecked, like a feeling when your tummy hurts and you have to push. I saw her fingers, this tiny head and body in the doctor's hands. It reached its tiny arm up and had a tiny foot. I closed my eyes and no more. No more cries. I don't understand. Just say these things happen. They yelled and screamed, and he said it will be the same in a couple of months. I don't understand what is going on. I can't go to school like this. I can't stop shaking. Yeah, so to me it sounds like this girl was being impregnated over and over again, starting at the age of probably 13 or 14, and then when she was having these babies, they were being taken from her and immediately brought into the world of a pedophile ring or sex trafficking organization. There are so many things in these journals that are so twisted. Let me know if you want me to talk more about these entries because, yeah, it's really heartbreaking stuff.
What this guy did is truly terrifying.
And the fact that he got away with it will make you so angry. His name is Issei Sagawa. While studying in France, he met a young Dutch woman. Her name was Renee Harteveld. Issei gained her trust over time, and one day he invited her to his apartment. He told her that he was just going to help her out with some assignments she had missed. So while she sat at his desk focusing on the assignment, Issei left the room, grabbed a rifle, then slowly crept up behind her and shot her point blank in the back. Sadly passed away. But Issei wasn't done yet. He then ate portions of her body. He also stored some of her in the refrigerator, and then whatever was left, stuffed into 2 travel bags, and then abandoned those bags at a local park. But Issei was caught 4 days later. But Issei had wealthy parents. His family also hired him a really good defense lawyer, and somehow he got transferred to a French mental institution. Now, there was an outcry from the French community saying they didn't want their tax dollars to be wasted on this man. So he simply ended up getting deported back to Japan. Whilst back in Japan, he was found too criminally insane to stand trial. Sure, his family connections helped with that, so the murder charges were dropped. His case was also sealed by French authorities. This actually meant that Japanese authorities didn't have anything to charge Issei with, so they let him walk free. This man even wrote a book about what he did. If you want to hear more stories about real-life people, remember to follow 7 Sins Crime.
Cartoons inspired by true stories. Courage the Cowardly Dog. This show is based on a story of an elderly couple from 1957. The famous house from the series actually existed in Mexico. The elderly couple with their dog owned this house. The family who lived there often reported sightings of strange creatures. They went to the police for report. The day after reporting about what they had saw, the family disappeared. And only their dog was found.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Researchers are hoping this new technology could eventually be introduced to zoos right around the world. But the visitors here at Melon Zoo, they may be lucky enough to experience it for themselves. The trial runs sporadically throughout the rest of the month.
You ain't Joni. You're not a Skinwalker.
What would happen if you gave society everything? Infinite food, no predators, total safety. Well, in 1968, we found out, and it was terrifying. Scientist John Calhoun built Universe 25. It was a mouse paradise. Unlimited water, food, nesting boxes. I mean, really, what else could a mouse ask for? It was designed to hold thousands of mice in luxury. At first, the population exploded. But as soon as Universe 25 started getting crowded, the mice went insane. A group of males completely stopped fighting and mating. They just ate, slept, and groomed their fur, which honestly doesn't sound so bad. Calhoun called them the beautiful ones. They were completely perfect, but socially unalive. Meanwhile, mothers started abandoning and also eating their babies. The society collapsed into violence and apathy. Even when the population dropped back down and there was plenty of space again, the survivors forgot how to even be mice, and they refused to mate again. The entire population went extinct, but not from starvation, but from total lack of social purpose.
This is considered one of the creepiest videos on the Darknet, and honestly, once you notice the detail everyone talks about, it's hard to unsee it. At first glance, nothing looks weird at all. 4 girls are just having a good time in a nightclub, joking around, recording quick clips, and trying to make the night memorable. Everything seems completely normal until the 4th girl steps into the frame. Right behind her, a shadow shows up out of nowhere. It looks like the shape of a person, but way darker than it should be, almost pitch black compared to the lighting around them. The girl suddenly turns her head, like she felt someone standing right behind her or breathing on her neck, but there's absolutely no one there. And that's what makes this moment so unsettling. She clearly reacted to something real, yet whatever it was didn't show up as an actual person. Go back and watch the moment carefully. Look right over her shoulder, and tell me what you think that shadow could be. Was it someone hiding? Something paranormal? Or just a glitch in the camera? Drop your theory in the comments, because people who've seen this video still argue about what was really standing behind her.
Scary facts that will blow your mind. If you remember your dream when you wake up, then it wasn't a dream, it was a message.
The order in which things happened just got flipped on its head. With the new documents released, Dylan's updated statements change everything. I'm going to try to do this in an order that it makes sense because the statement, the way it was released, was a little, jumpy, so stay with me here. The first big thing that changes the timeline or the order in which things happen is that Dylan said that she heard Kaylee come down the stairs with Murphy as she was singing and dancing. Now, you'll remember before she had said she heard Kaylee dancing with her dog. She says that Kaylee came down the stairs to the second level with the dog. Here's where it gets interesting. She said she then heard Kaylee take Murphy back up the stairs and say in a very excited, frantic way, "Someone is here." This changes the original account that Kaylee and Maddie were in bed asleep together when Brian Kohberger started his attack.
Top 10 countries in Africa with the strongest juju. At number 10 is Benin Republic. Benin Republic is the birthplace of voodoo, commonly known as voodoo. People use rituals, ancestral spirits, and juju for healing, protection, or revenge, often consulting priests known as bokonons for guidance. In 2026, the country expanded its Voodoo Day celebrations, showing these beliefs are still an important part of its cultural identity. At number 9, we have Angola. Belief in witchcraft is widespread in Angola, especially in rural areas. There have been reports that suspected witches were rounded up and forced to drink dangerous potions to prove their innocence. These accounts show how strong fear of witchcraft is in some communities. At number 8, we have Uganda. In Uganda, traditional beliefs of witchcraft exist, influencing various aspects of society. Historically, only women have been accused of practicing witchcraft, but it was later revealed that the men also take part. At number 7 is Ghana. Witchcraft beliefs are common in Ghana, with camps sheltering accused individuals. In 2023, a law was passed to criminalize witchcraft accusations and protect the victims. Witchcraft also influences music and media, blending with religion in the country. At number 6, we have Zambia. It is said that the practice is very well and alive in Zambia. There have been several reports of severely sick Zambians who were completely healed after a quick visit to their local witch doctor. At number 5, we have Kenya. The practice of witchcraft is said to have become so prominent in Kenya that it has been commercialized. In just about every suburb of Nairobi, you will find at least one advert nailed up on a pole advertising the services of a witch doctor. There are also numerous stories of Nairobi women using this witchcraft to lock men. At number 4 is the Democratic Republic of Congo. In the DRC, belief in witchcraft and juju plays a powerful role in many communities. Accusations of sorcery have long been widespread, and stories of powerful juju are deeply woven into local folklore. As a matter of fact, in 2026, Nigeria's national football team coach accused the DRC of using voodoo during a penalty shootout. At number 3, we have Malawi. In Malawi, there are 2 districts where it is said that the residents partake in advanced levels of sorcery. It is rumored that there are men there who possess the power to transport themselves from Malawi to the US in seconds. At number 2, we have Togo. Togo has strong traditions of voodoo and ancestral worship mixed with juju practices. Markets in Lomé are known for selling talismans and spiritual items, and these practices remain a visible part of cultural life today. Finally, at number 1, we have Nigeria. Nigeria's exploits in this regard have gathered a lot of media attention and representation over the years, with people said to be using witchcraft and sorcery to attain wealth, lock wealthy partners, battle enemies, and exact revenge. For more,